Hello Scorpio, thank you for tuning in. For the main read, I'm using the Modern Spellcaster's Tarot by Melanie Marquis and Scott Murphy. Scott Murphy does the illustration. There's Melanie's last name in case I'm saying it wrong. It's in the white over there. And for the supportive oracle cards, the Magical Unicorn Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. Alright, I already shuffled. Interesting. Got like an open spot here. Alright, we're gonna start here. I feel like you're you have a progression thing going on here. So it does kind of fit together. Scorpio, yep. Alright. So this is something you're keeping to yourself. Alright, now you're ending a situation. You got the World here. I feel like you're ending something, and you're taking it one step at a time. I feel like you're stepping into this arena here to end this. You're moving on, and you're starting a whole new cycle. But you've taken that step, or you're taking that step, one of the two, to do that right at this moment here, at this point. Now, this being said, I'm not saying you're over the moon about doing it, but it's something that you feel you have to do. Now, the energy around you, like the other side, they have happy thoughts and relax, everything's okay, which I feel like they're not taking you seriously. You're ending this situation. Whatever you're doing, whether it be a job or leaving somebody, or you might be ending a friendship, something, you're stopping something. I feel like you're changing something. Definitely. This is kind of like a life change, it feels. Whoever else is involved, whatever that arena might be, I don't feel like they're really taking you seriously. Like they don't really believe you're going to do it. But you've already done it, is the weird thing. I feel like you've done it, but they seem to have this thought like, oh, so-and-so will be back, or they don't really mean it, or whatever. I feel like they're taking it best case scenario where you change your mind. I don't feel like that's the case though. Especially like as you go into this with something you're looking to finish, your next card is actually an oracle card, finish what you've started. Now because it's in the line of action, I feel like this is how you're handling it. You're just kind of like, I said I would do this, and now I'm going to do it. And I feel like you're moving on. You are truly moving on. You got the Knight of Pentacles here, right above this for where your thoughts are, which means you're kind of like, I feel like you're a little bit conflicted, but you're more dedicated to the thought that it's time to do this. So it's not like you don't want to. Part of you kind of wants to stay, but a bigger part feels like it's time to move on, and it's just the right time for this action. You've taken the first steps, and now that you've taken the first steps, you don't want to backpedal. So you're going to continue on. This is the last card I have for the environment for your read right now. It's the Six of Swords, if you can see that. And in this version, you'll notice the guy in the back of the boat is freaking out. Most times I see this card, it's usually the boat going off. It's like the boat's usually headed in the opposite direction, I'm noticing. But this seems to be where I'm looking at this is kind of like, I feel like some people are still hopeful that you're going to change your mind, and they're a little freaked out that you're actually doing this, but you're moving on. And I feel like this is the last involvement you have with them. Like, they're a little freaked out, and they're like trying to offer you things to get you to stay. I feel like people are trying to change your mind. But this is the last card I'm seeing on the environment, which means you made your decision, and you're like, no, I've made my decision, and thank you, but it's time to move on, and you are. You're sticking true to that. This is the next card in your line of action, which is true, which is a Magical Unicorn card, in case that matters. But basically says you're sticking to what you said. You're sticking to what you said, and you're moving forward. You have the Seven of Pentacles, another pentacle. Now, when Scorpio has pentacle cards, that means that they've made up their mind. they're not looking to backpedal. They have no interest in that. If you had any inkling to do so, you'd have already done it. But you got your eye on a certain goal, and you're going there. You're continuing on. You're done. You've decided, and you're moving. You're sticking true to what you feel is correct. I do feel like there's a period here where you're kind of questioning yourself. You're aware of what's going on around you, like the offers that were handed your way, offered, whatever. And I feel like you're thinking about them, and you're taking honest thought. Like, I feel like you're going over it, depending on the situation, like, you know, would that make a difference, blah, blah, blah. You might mull through it quickly. It's definitely not swaying your decision, though. You have your idea of where you're going, and you're going. Now, these last two cards, this is your line of action. There's nothing in the environment down here. And this is where your head is. You have ideas about where you're going to go. You're planning to take action on them. And you are the Queen of Wands. This is a person who's very emotionally connected to her goal. Someone who's not only emotionally connected to it, but taking action on it. And you're also looking forward to where you want to be. I feel like you're looking at when you move on from this, I feel like you're giving this small period where you're kind of like going back and forth, you know, should I rethink this? Should I go back? You know, I feel like for most of you, I feel like it's just like a short period where you're just kind of like, is this the right decision? Is it not? But it's a short period. And once you let it go, you're totally focused on your new direction, and you're the master of that destiny. So I feel like the reason this reading might be coming to you is you might be questioning what you're doing, or you're either or you're at that point where you're like, do I really want to end this? Do I really want to do this? Because I'm kind of getting the feel like when you make this decision, it's kind of like jumping in feet first to a pool, like just jumping right in the deep end. Like, if I'm doing this, I'm doing this. You're not half-heartedly just wishy-washy going forward. You're just like, if I'm doing this, then I'm doing this. Excuse me. So to know it's going to work out at the end, because you're headed in the direction you want to be. I feel like that's the whole reason. Wherever you ended up, or wherever you are now, it may have been somewhere you wanted to be originally, but where it is now, you're just either stagnant and you're not happy, you just feel like it's boring at this point, or you didn't end up exactly where you thought you were going to end up, so you've changed your trajectory and you're heading in another direction that makes you a lot more optimistic and a lot more excited to move forward. So the situation just seems like it's played out. It's done. Your involvement there is over. And you're making this, and I feel like it's a little bit of a time thing here where you have to trudge through it. Interestingly enough, you make your decision and you are going to stick with it. I don't really feel like there's a question of that. But I feel like you might trudge through it and you might hold yourself to double thinking things because of offers given to you. Like, you know, for you to turn back and reconsider moving on. But I really don't feel like that goes anywhere. I don't feel like these offers, like I'm noticing that box in that person's hand is a small box. Which makes me feel like even the offers you're given, whatever, they're very small or transitory. You might get something for a moment, but it would only last for a moment. And I feel like you might be realizing that. If you look at whatever you've been offered, you might be able to look at other people who were offered sort of the same thing and how long that lasted, or what type of benefits that truly did entail. Because I feel like you're questioning. At some point, there's a small period where you question, is this a good idea to move on? Or should you accept where you've been and just stay where you've been because you're more familiar with it? But I do feel you're moving on. I feel like you're just questioning these offers you're getting, wondering if, maybe I should give this another shot. Maybe this can be better than I thought. But I feel like it's very flitty. It doesn't last long, and then I feel like when you take a harder look at it, you're like, you know what, that's not really the best offer, and that's not really what I want. I've seen how it's played out for other people. That's not going to cut it. I need to go now while my offer is open, and I'm going to take my new offer. All right, is that it? All right. I'm going to wrap that up there, so thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, go ahead and shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com, james4astral@gmail.com. Thank you.